Explain to me what this president's budget is. What significance does it have? Does it have any binding effect? Why should we pay attention to it?
Number one, it has no binding effect at all. Number two, I hate to say it, but it's irrelevant, as OMB, the Office of Management Budget, has said, because it does not incorporate the agreement the president signed into law just last week. So they're going to have to come up with brand new numbers during the next 4 or 5 weeks as they interact with Congress. And I think the third thing is very, very little of this will ever see the light of day except for the defense increases.
So, Steve, for those of us who are more from a business orientation rather than from Capitol Hill, we need a big budget. When we're running a company, you need a budget to know how much money we can spend, how much we expect to come in. What is the effective budget? If this is not the document, how does the government operate to know how much money it has to spend?
Well, the effective document is the deal the president made last week that kept the government open after a very, very short shutdown. So what is going on right now up on Capitol Hill is this. A lot of staff for the appropriations committees of the House and Senate are working on 12 different bills. And when those bills pass, including defense, be signed into law by the president, that will be the final act in making sure that the agreement reached last week on fiscal year 18 and 19 is in place. And that takes precedent over any other arrangement or any proposal by the president.
Steve, it's my understanding that President Trump is not alone in having what's essentially an irrelevant budget that he proposes. Is this the best way to be doing this process? And if it's not, how could they improve upon it?
Well, you know, I hate to put a lot of blame on President Trump because the Congress has been so irresponsible this year in budgeting. We had 6 continuing resolutions, in other words, little stopgap measures that lasted maybe a week, 2 weeks, 6 weeks. And Congress has been unable to get its basic work done. How much are we going to spend to keep the government open for about 10 years now? So it's been under other presidents, not just this president. All we asked the president to do is to submit in February his budget proposal. And this president today did so, and even delayed what he was going to actually do on the 5th, a week ago. What Congress has done now is become so polarized that they can't even make an agreement on how much to spend to keep the government open. It used to be that appropriations was not this way. But now this real deep political polarization has even struck appropriations.